You are listening to the 90 Days Later podcast with Anna Charles, episode 167.
Welcome to the 90 Days Later podcast, where I show you how life with less alcohol is more fun than you think. I work with high achievers who struggle to drink a glass of wine without it turning into 2 bottles. I'm the one they call when they want to take it or leave it. So if you want to change your relationship with alcohol that doesn't involve counting days sober, you're in the right place.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. I am on fire today. I have just completed the copy for a really exciting project that I have coming up. If you feel like you have no off switch, I have the thing for you. Can't say more about it right now today, but in the next couple of weeks I will. It is so exciting. I cannot wait. And actually, that new project kind of ties in with what I want to talk about today. Now, normally, as you know, I cover something very specific. I give you a specific tool, try this, do this. But today I really want to step back because I have spent so much time on this new project just thinking about the wonder that is life, that is being on this planet, that is being born, that is having all the opportunities we have, and that is just really maximizing that and understanding the role that alcohol plays in that or not. So today I want to talk about really a subject very close to my heart, which is really why I do this, right? Why I put myself out there, why I provide you all these great free content in my podcast, why, I love spending time helping and working with my one-on-one clients. And that is the topic that how drinking less changes your life. It changes your life, people. This is not just about, can I have 1 glass of wine instead of half a bottle? That is one piece of it. That was one tiny piece of it. So I really want to talk about this. I want to look at how it transforms your life, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and in the way you see yourself. Now, I know a lot of people, in fact, I think most people, I did a little survey the other day, most people who are thinking about cutting back on alcohol, the primary reason is health, or maybe just to feel a little bit better the next day. I mean, those are kind of the main reasons, and sure, they are great reasons, but what I want to talk about today goes much deeper. It's not just about not drinking so much. It's about who you become as a person. It's about taking back control. It's about waking up and knowing you can trust yourself. Think about that. You can trust yourself. You can trust yourself fully and completely. And this is the big one, this has a ripple effect. This sense of growing and increased self-trust has a huge ripple effect. You know that pebble thing when you drop a pebble in a lake? This is like dropping a boulder in a lake. Actually, I'm not sure if I drop a boulder in, it makes bigger ripples. But that's what I'm going after, bigger ripples. When you change this one thing, when you change your relationship with alcohol, when you see what you're capable of, that you can change that, so many other things in your life start to shift as well. Your energy, your confidence, your relationships, your work, your goals, it is all connected. This is not just about having 1 beer less, 2 glasses of wine less. So today we're going to cover 3 big things. We're going to talk about the immediate. There are immediate and also long-term benefits of drinking less. We're going to talk about how this changes your relationship with yourself, which is really probably my most favorite topic of all. And then we're going to talk about the ripple effect, how this one decision to just do something different about your drinking will impact every other part of your life. And I'm also going to leave you with some powerful questions to think about. Yes, the homework, the Anna homework, so you can start making these shifts today. All right, so let's dive in. So first part is really talking about the immediate and long-term benefits of drinking less. So really, what are the changes? What does change when you drink less? There are so many of these, but I'm going to break this down into what I see as being 5 key benefits. These are 5 things that I personally value and that come up again and again with my clients. These are things you're going to notice pretty quickly as well. So that's nice. It's kind of a little uptick. Now you're going to have others, I'm sure, but I just want to set you thinking about this, because often we spend so much time thinking about, the big one is just better health, but, when does that start to arrive? So I wanted to break this down further. So benefit number 1, you will sleep better and you will have more energy. Alcohol messes with your sleep. I did a whole episode on this way back. I actually had Renee Roberts come on, a sleep expert, and we talked about how alcohol disrupts your sleep. Yes, even those of you who say, well, it makes me sleep, it helps me sleep. No, it really doesn't. Stop drinking or stop drinking quite so much and you will see your sleep improve. Because even if you fall asleep fast when you've been drinking, your body doesn't get the deep rest it needs. I mean, that's the difference, right, between closing your eyes and being unconscious versus resting. But when you drink less, you will wake up, you will sleep better. So you wake up clear-headed, rested and ready to go. I mean, rested is the word. Imagine how that changes your mornings and how you see your whole day. That's the first fairly quick thing that you will see when you cut back on your drinking. Second, your mental clarity will skyrocket, right? There is no more brain fog. This happened for me quite quickly, actually, this ease. No more, or rather sluggish thinking, right? We can talk about clarity and sort of like, oh, it's like it's taking my brain some time to get going here. And because of this, you're going to start making better decisions. You're going to feel sharper. I definitely was feeling sharper quite quickly when I was just cutting back on the old Chablis. And your creativity will come back. You might find yourself picking up those old art projects or whatever those projects were that you used to do. Right? I want you to imagine what this does for your work, for your level of focus, and for how you feel about yourself. The third fairly immediate improvement you'll see is you're going to feel emotionally stronger and more confident. People, this is huge. Now, we talk about this. Alcohol numbs things, right? It numbs the stress, it numbs the anxiety, it numbs the frustration, but it's only short-lived. We know that. We know these emotions, they don't go away. It's kind of just like if you walk into a messy room and you turn the light off, you don't see the messy room anymore, but you know it's still there, right? The mess is still there. This is what alcohol does. It's kind of like we're shutting off the light to our feelings. But when we do that, it actually not only are those feelings still there, we actually create more of them because we then start worrying, okay, on top of having these negative emotions, I now have a problem with my drinking. But when you start to drink less, you are emotionally more steady. You're not going to wake up wondering. I mean, just think about this. You're not going to wonder, what did I say? How could it have been different? Why did I do that? You're going to start to feel proud of yourself. Right? So this all starts to happen. We start to feel emotionally stronger. Here's another great side benefit that I just don't think is talked about a lot when it comes to emotions. You cut back on the booze, you're going to start to experience all the positive emotions more as well. Right? Things like joy, things like just happiness, relaxation, calm, peace. You feel these deeper. Alcohol numbs not just the negative, but also the positive emotions. Yes, it really does. A fourth, fairly, it's quick term, but you'll start to see a fairly immediate uptick is your relationships will improve. Just by being present, by not drinking and numbing so much, by listening to people, your relationships are going to deepen. You're going to be connecting on a deeper level, not just over drinks. And for all of you out there say, no, but drinking helps me connect. I want you to think about it. If you've not been drinking and you're talking to someone who's drunk or had just way over the odds too much, how much of a connection was going on with them? How much were they listening? How much were you really bonding? And then I want you to think about what happens, how that changes when you've been drinking too much too, right? It doesn't. It is a fallacy that we connect over alcohol, we feel deeper connection, and it is one that the advertisers keep us going because they have a lot of money to be made, especially with Valentine's coming up. The fifth, in sort of immediate term improvement when through drinking less, you're going to start to feel physically healthier. You really will. You'll start to feel a little more vibrant. There won't be this boom, 1 minute you're at 0, the next you're at 100%. But with less alcohol, there's less inflammation, there's better digestion. You will start to get clearer skin. You'll feel lighter and just more energized. Not so sluggish. So those are 5. I wanted to start with these. These are 5 kind of immediate beneficial impacts we'll see from drinking less. And of course, all of these just multiply and get stronger and stronger over time, so they build into long-term benefits. But now let me get to really, I think probably my favorite piece here of this whole episode, changing your relationship with yourself. This is what happens when we learn to drink less. Think about it. Do you trust yourself to follow through on what you'll say you'll do in your normal life? Probably most of the time, right? A lot of my clients are leaders. We are achievers. If we say we're going to do something, we do it, apart from when it comes to wine. So I want you to imagine that you can trust yourself around the wine or the beer. I want you to imagine if you could be around alcohol without feeling like you have to drink it. If someone buys it for you, that you feel bad if you don't drink it and that you really, really want to drink it. I want you to think, do you make decisions around alcohol ahead of time and actually stick to them like you do probably in the rest of your life? This is the area where the full transformation happens. I'd really like to see this, that we sort of take who we are as people and then plot that against alcohol as well. Right? So we build that trust. Drinking less is not about willpower. You've heard me say that again and again and again. It's about identity. It's about becoming the person who decides ahead of time, who follows through, who doesn't second guess themselves. Even if you might be thinking, but wine is going to make this more fun, you don't second guess. You've decided you're going to try it without, and then you do it. You know the person you are in life when it doesn't come to wine? The person who shows up for work, does the best job, is a great parent, a role model, a thoughtful partner, right? The person whom you rely on yourself to be. And when you become that person, also when alcohol comes into the picture, your confidence is going to explode. Because suddenly it's not just about alcohol, it's about realizing, if I change this, what else am I capable of? This is where the ripple effect begins. This is the part that most people don't think about when they decide to drink less. They think, okay, I'll feel better. Maybe I'll lose some weight. Maybe I'll save some money. Right? Maybe I'll wake up without a hangover, which is all good things. What they don't realize is that this changing this one thing has a massive effect on their entire life. Your relationships will change. When you show up differently, the people around you will feel it. This is not you requiring of them to change. This is just you bringing your best version. They will see that. Your presence, your energy, your ability to actually listen and engage, it deepens your connections. And here's the cool part. Your change inspires others. Maybe a friend or a partner will see your confidence increase and they'll start making changes in their life. Maybe those people who've been pushing you and saying, why aren't you going to carry on drinking now? And they start to take notice. What's changed in her? I had a client tell me that somebody said to her, I don't know what you're doing, but whatever it is, keep on doing it. You're looking great. And she told me, the only thing that's changed is that I'm not drinking so much. And I've changed who I am around alcohol. I don't feel I'm the person who gives into cravings anymore. I mean, just her whole identity had changed. Another major change happens here with the ripple effect is your time and energy are freed up. I want you to think about this. Let's be honest, drinking or thinking about drinking takes up a lot of mental space, a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of everything. Imagine what happens when you take all that time, all that energy, and you put it towards something that actually matters to you. I mean, you could do that right now. You could add it up. I do this as a fun exercise to do with my clients. In an average day, how much time are you spending drinking, thinking about drinking, suffering from the after effects of drinking, wondering, is there going to be enough wine, wondering what other people are thinking. I mean, all this time. Not to mention, by the way, this used to be me, that the evenings were a write-off. About 6:30 onwards, that was it, right? I was going to be too tired and sluggish to do anything, do my side hustle, as they call it, projects now to write my novel. That was my side hustle project. So I want you to think about taking all that time and how would you invest it? Maybe in starting a new project, getting back into exercise, starting a new creative hobby. Maybe just spending more meaningful time with your children or your husband or wife, or just to feel free. Just to feel free. No longer spending time wondering or worrying if you'll drink how much and then regretting it after. I mean, all of that energy. This shift, it can happen immediately. You don't even have to be there with your results. You just have to, the moment you start making the changes with how you see yourself, because you see yourself following through on what the changes you want to make around alcohol, that ripple effect then starts. The moment you start drinking less, you are going to start getting back your time, your energy, and just your focus. You won't see it all immediately, but my friend, it is happening. And that is when your life starts to change. Alcohol has deep, deep, deep roots in your life. We're just pulling them out. It might have taken them years to get that deep in those roots to run so deep. We can get them out, completely remove them in a matter of months. So here's the takeaway. Drinking less is not about restriction. It's about living more. It's about changing your identity. It's just not an activity you do, but it's who you become. And you don't have to wait months or years to see the benefits. It can start now. So I want to leave you with this. Today, right now as you're listening, and you can pause the podcast if you need to. Decide today, who do you want to be? What's one decision you can make ahead of time this week when it comes to alcohol? And how will you use the time, energy, and the focus that you gain from the little change that you see? How can you start to build your life? And this is what people mean, I know, when they say, you hear it a lot these days, build the life you want, not just living the one you have. But really, I think alcohol handcuffs us to the past. And if you're just able then to, and this is one of the things I do with my clients, I help them, I remove the handcuffs, and then we see, my gosh, I mean, the question I'm here again and again and again is, I'm capable of that. What else am I capable of? If you want to change your relationship with alcohol and how you see yourself, how you change your identity, you need to work with me. Now look, you're not going to get there downloading a few freebies, listening to a couple of free webinars, even just listening to a podcast. I mean, this is all good stuff. I always say, fill your ears with this, with life after alcohol, or life with a take it or leave it relationship with alcohol. But it's not going to get you to your end game quickly. And that's what I want for you. I want you to be living that life now. I want you to have that ripple effect now. I want you to have deeper relationships now. To get that, you need to dig deep. Be willing to do the work. Be willing to look at who you are and who you want to be. And that's what I do with you. And by the way, you decide. You decide what relationship you want to have with alcohol. I will not force you to go sober. That's not for me to say. I trust you to know what you want, and I trust me to be able to get you there. So if that's what you want, if you are ready to move, I work with people who are ready to move, and they just decide and they go for it. Go to 90dayslater.co and click on book a call. I cannot wait to hear from you, and also I will see you next week. If you like what you're learning in the podcast and you want to take the work further and achieve total freedom around alcohol, let's talk. I help my clients stop reaching for that first 6 p.m. rolls around. Email me for more information on anna@90dayslater.co. And if you did enjoy the show, I'd really appreciate if you'd leave a rating and review to help others find the 90 Days Later podcast.